In that case, I would say do what you can, like inflate it to the point where you get a little bit more bounce, but you don't have to do like max capacity inflation like I do. Just get a little bit more bounce than you're used to, but don't get that super crazy bounce if you happen to come across that. So if you've never overinflated your basketball before, you've never tried to go for that sort of max capacity inflation for your basketball to give you a significant increase in how much the basketball bounces, I encourage you to at least try it. It's going to be frustrating, right? Because you're gonna have way more bounce than you're used to, especially when it comes to like shooting, right? You're gonna have the ball. First of all, the ball's gonna be heavier, a little bit heavier than you're used to. It's probably not gonna feel, crazily heavier, but you will notice a significant increase in its weight. When you shoot the ball, when you get rebounds, it hits off the rim, you're gonna have higher, longer, faster rebounds, and that's probably gonna be frustrating, but it's supposed to be. That's the point. You're supposed to deal with that, right? You're supposed to compensate for it, and you're supposed to sharpen your skills so that you shoot better, so you have less rebounds, so you have to chase less rebounds. But even in the case where you're having to chase rebounds down because the ball is at max capacity for inflation, right? I say embrace that, and consider that part of your conditioning training, right? So now you have, I always say to run after your own rebounds. Don't walk after them. There's no point in doing that. You're not gaining anything by walking after your rebounds. Run, if not sprint, after all of your rebounds. And when your ball is at max capacity, you're gonna have high, fast, long rebounds that you're gonna have to run, if not sprint for, and that can only serve to better your game. That is why you should overinflate your basketball. One of my favorite reasons for doing this, and one of the pillars that this channel is built on, is when you're doing this, it's something that other players are not doing, like lesser players, less serious players are not doing. It's a small little detail. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna skyrocket your game, but it's gonna add a little bit of a layer onto your game that other players, lesser players, less serious players are not doing. This channel is meant for any basketball player, but it's intended more specifically for those of us who we don't have traditional basketball or athletic talent. So because of that, we have to use any and everything we can think of to make our skills comparable to those players that do have standard average basketball or athletic talent. Doing something small like overinflating your basketball in practice and training, so you have sharper skills than you normally would, that's a small thing, but it's something that probably nobody else is doing. Think, ask the people around you, ask the players around you, ask your friends, do they do that? Have they thought of it? Probably not, right? Because they're not taking the game as serious as you are, so they're not taking their training and their practice as seriously as you are, so they're not doing these small things like overinflating your basketball on purpose to make it more difficult on yourself.